The full history of Lee Min-ho and Song Hye-Kyo's rumors from first admiration to the latest hint. What if the story we thought we knew was never the real story at all? What if, behind the endless camera flashes, the denials, the headlines, and the carefully worded statements, there has been a quiet, hidden thread connecting Lee Min-ho and Song Hye-Kyo for more than a decade? Something subtle. Something unspoken. Something that has resurfaced again and again, refusing to disappear. This is the timeline many tried to ignore. The rumors many brushed aside. And the silent interactions that made fans ask the same question over and over again. Is something going on between Lee Min-ho and Song Hye-Kyo, or has fate simply been playing with coincidences for far too long? Hold on tight, C-Drama family. The world of your favorite celebrities is unfolding before your eyes, and every moment is more breathtaking than the last. So make sure you hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications right now, because trust me, you do not want to miss what's coming next. To understand how we arrived at today's newest hint, we must take a journey back. Far back. To a moment most fans barely remember, but a moment that quietly started everything. It begins with admiration. Not a confession. Not a rumor. Just a single moment of honesty from a young rising actor who was sitting in front of cameras, still new to fame, still learning the weight of every word that would leave his lips. Lee Min-ho, long before becoming a global superstar, was asked which senior actress he respected most. His answer was calm. Polite. Almost casual. But fans caught the spark immediately. He said he admired Song Hye-Kyo for her emotional depth, for her ability to make any scene come alive, for her elegance and presence on screen. It seemed like nothing. Just a simple compliment. But in Korean entertainment, where words are weighed like gold, the remark did not go unnoticed. Especially because of what followed next. Years passed. The two stars continued their unstoppable rise. Lee Min-ho conquered Asia with Boys Over Flowers, City Hunter, and The Heirs. Song Hye-Kyo continued her reign with Descendants of the Sun and Encounter. Their careers rarely overlapped. Their schedules kept them in different worlds. But every time their paths came close, the internet reacted instantly. The first true spark happened at an award ceremony. They were seated several rows apart. They were not presenting together. They did not share the stage. Yet the cameras captured something that fans still revisit today. During a montage honoring legendary Korean actresses, the screen cut to Song Hye-Kyo. And for a brief moment, Lee Min-ho looked up with an expression that fans described as admiration, surprise, and something deeper. It was a few seconds. But in the world of fandoms, a few seconds can echo for years. Nothing happened publicly. But online discussions exploded. People wondered if they knew each other personally. If they had met behind the scenes. If that old remark from Lee Min-ho meant more than anyone believed. Then came the silence. Years of silence. Both stars lived their separate lives, took on new roles, faced their own ups and downs. Song Hye-Kyo went through one of the most public chapters of her life. Lee Min-ho enlisted in the military. Their names rarely appeared in the same headline, except in fan-made lists of dream drama pairings. Yet even during those quiet years, the older interview clips resurfaced again and again. Fans kept asking, did Lee Min-ho still admire her? Would they ever work together? Were they secretly in contact? Then something unexpected happened. A follow on social media. Simple. Innocent. But enough to restart an entire wave of speculation. When fans noticed that Lee Min-ho and Song Hye-Kyo were finally connected online, the internet froze. The timing was strange. The attention was immediate. For two massive stars who rarely make impulsive moves online, this was not something fans could ignore. Suddenly, old interviews trended again. Old clips resurfaced. Fans noticed interactions that nobody saw the first time around. Publicly, nothing was confirmed. But privately, something felt different. The most intense moment came when Lee Min-ho returned from the military and began receiving scripts for new projects. During one promotional appearance, he was asked what kind of actress he hoped to work with next. His answer was vague but specific enough to stir the quiet storm again. He said he hoped to act with someone who carried emotional history. Someone elegant. Someone who could portray a love story with depth rather than surface-level chemistry. Fans immediately connected the dots. This description sounded achingly familiar. But the real turning point came later. And it happened not on a stage, not in an interview, but at a fashion event watched by millions. Lee Min-ho took his seat in the front row. A few minutes later, the cameras turned to the entrance as Song Hye-kyo arrived, her presence instantly commanding the room. They were not seated together. They were not in the same segment. But the moment she walked in, a small but undeniable shift occurred. Lee Min-ho glanced toward the entrance. Just once. Just briefly. But long enough for fan cams to capture it. That single glance triggered one of the biggest rumor waves in recent years. Not because of the glance itself, but because of the energy in the room. The kind of energy that cannot be scripted. The kind that builds only when two people with history, or curiosity, or interest, share the same air. Still, neither star addressed the growing whispers. If anything, they grew quieter. More careful. More elusive. But the silence only intensified the speculation. Behind the scenes, industry insiders began to talk. Quietly. Carefully. Nothing that could be quoted publicly. Nothing that could be confirmed. But the rumors were consistent. The idea that Lee Min-ho and Song Hye-kyo might be considering a project together. A mature, emotional, deeply romantic drama that would pair two of Korea's biggest names in a love story powerful enough to dominate global streaming platforms. Insiders suggested that discussions had happened. Others claimed that the two stars had been introduced privately at industry dinners. Some whispered that the initial admiration had evolved into quiet respect. And respect, in the entertainment world, can easily become something more. All of this brings us to the newest and most intriguing moment. A statement. Not from their agencies. Not from a reporter. But from a stylist who had worked with both stars at different times. During a casual live broadcast, the stylist was asked which two celebrities they hoped to see in a project together. Instead of giving a random pair, the stylist smiled and mentioned Lee Min-ho and Song Hye-kyo. The reaction was instant. Too instant. The live chat exploded. The stylist laughed off the comments, but viewers swore they noticed a hint of something. A hesitation. A small clue that they knew more than they were allowed to say. That single moment revived the rumor mill once again. And that brings us to the question everyone is now asking. Is the long-standing admiration finally becoming something real? Is a collaboration on the horizon? Or is there something deeper that neither star is ready to reveal? After a decade of silence, half-glances, and quiet online interactions, the possibility feels stronger than ever. Lee Min-ho stands at the peak of his global influence. Song Hye-kyo is entering a new era of artistic freedom. Both are mature. Both are selective. Both understand the power of choosing the right project, the right partner, and the right moment. So perhaps the story was never about sudden rumors or random headlines. Perhaps it has always been about timing. A long, slow burn. A story that started with admiration, tested by time, revived by circumstance, and now sits on the edge of something new. As fans wait for their next move, one truth stands above the rest. Some stories do not need confirmation to keep the world watching. Some stories breathe on their own, carried by moments too subtle to deny. And the story of Lee Min and Song Hye-kyo is one of them. Whether it ends in a drama collaboration, a surprising announcement, or simply another chapter of silent connection, one thing is certain. This is not the end of their story. This is only the beginning of the next rumor, the next hint, the next spark that refuses to fade. Stay tuned. Because when two stars of this magnitude circle each other for this long, it is only a matter of time before their orbits finally align.